No one could have predicted that Outlander's final farewell interview would erupt into the most explosive, history-defining moment of the entire 10-year franchise. The cast gathered expecting nostalgia and soft goodbyes, warm laughter, early season memories, and behind-the-scenes stories fans had begged to hear for years. Caitríona Balfe looked radiant yet fragile, her smile luminous but trembling at the edges. You could practically feel the gravity of the moment pulling at her. A decade spent living as Claire Fraser was coming to an end. But no one, not the host, not the producers, not even Sam, had the slightest idea that she was about to drop a confession that would fracture the internet. The shift was subtle at first. The host asked Caitríona a harmless farewell question: "What will you miss the most?" The kind of safe, predictable question actors can answer in their sleep. Normally you'd expect something about the fans, the corsets, the Scottish Highlands. But the moment the question landed, Caitríona's entire expression changed. Her lips parted, her eyes softened, she drifted for a moment as if sifting through 10 years of memories in a single breath. The silence grew heavy, too heavy. When she finally spoke, her voice was quiet but unwavering. "I think what I'll miss the most is him." The audience chuckled politely, assuming she meant it in a light, friendly way. Just two co-stars acknowledging a legendary on-screen partnership. But then something in her shifted again. Her throat tightened, her gaze dropped, and in a trembling whisper she said the sentence that detonated the entire fandom. "I loved him more than I ever admitted." The studio gasped. Sam froze, eyes wide, face flickering between shock and something painfully raw. The host went slack-jawed. For a heartbeat the entire world seemed to stop spinning. Even the live audience, sitting only a few feet away, didn't dare breathe. Within seconds, clips of the confession hit the internet. Fans across TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram erupted. They slowed the clip down. They added dramatic soundtracks. They flooded comment sections with, "She finally said it. 10 years. We were right." But not everyone celebrated. Some fans panicked about the fallout. Would this hurt Caitríona's real-life marriage? Would it spark a PR crisis? Had she broken contracts? Was the studio going to silence her? Chaos ricocheted through the fandom in 1,000 directions. The interview spiraled further. The host, clearly rattled, tried to clarify. "Caitríona, you mean love as..." But Caitríona cut her off, her voice barely above a whisper. "There were things I couldn't say, things we weren't allowed to say." The internet ignited like wildfire. What did she mean? Who silenced her? Why now, at the very end? Meanwhile, Sam hadn't said a single word. He stared at Caitríona with an intensity fans had never seen, not on interviews, not even on screen. His breath unsteady, his hands shaking, his entire body seemed caught between relief and devastation. A storm of a decade's worth of unspoken emotion. Backstage, the crew panicked. Producers whispered aggressively into earpieces. Someone in the control room whispered, "Do we cut?" But millions were watching live. Cutting the feed would only turn a wildfire into an inferno. Then another bombshell. A backstage mic caught Caitríona murmuring something under her breath after trying to compose herself. Fans enhanced the audio within minutes. "I should have said it sooner." The fandom lost its mind. Did she love him all these years? Was the truth hidden by contracts? Was she silenced by PR? Was this planned or a spontaneous unraveling? Then an infamous industry insider poured gasoline on the fire. Her confession wasn't accidental. She's wanted to say this for years. Someone stopped her. Suddenly everything felt darker, deeper, more dramatic. And then all eyes turned to Sam. He sat frozen, chest rising and falling too fast, looking like a man whose entire world had just tilted. The host tried to pivot, but Sam lifted a hand, signaling her to wait. His gaze locked onto Caitríona's. When he finally spoke, it wasn't to the host. It wasn't to the audience. It was to her. "Caitríona, what are you doing?" His voice was raw, trembling, intimate enough to make the studio gasp. Caitríona blinked hard, her eyes filling. I'm tired of pretending, Sam. The air shifted. 10 years of tension snapped into focus. Fans watching from home felt their hearts pounding. Sam's jaw clenched. His shoulders sagged. His breath trembled. And then he whispered a sentence that sent shivers across the world. We weren't supposed to talk about this. The internet imploded. What this? Who made the rule? Why hide it? Were they protecting the show, or each other? Caitríona pressed a hand to her chest. Not today, she said softly. Not on our last day. Sam looked gutted, like a man who had run out of places to bury the truth. Then Caitríona turned fully toward him, every wall lowered, and said the line that became the most replayed moment on the internet. I didn't just love Claire because of Jamie. I loved Claire because of you. The studio erupted in disbelief. Sam inhaled sharply, all defenses falling away. His expression softened into something heartbreakingly vulnerable. Slowly, hesitantly, he reached out and placed his hand over hers. Fans screamed. Servers crashed. Twitter collapsed. Caitríona, he whispered, you know I care about you. You know I always have. Her eyes shimmered as she nodded. I know, but they never let us say it. That word, they, sent the internet spiraling with theories about contracts, PR teams, studios, unspoken rules. Sam exhaled shakily. There were rules, he admitted. Rules about us. Rules about what we could be in public. The host covered her mouth. The audience murmured in disbelief. Fans typed like their lives depended on it. Caitríona squeezed his hand. If I didn't say it today, I never would have. And then Sam delivered the line that broke the world open. What makes you think I didn't feel the same? The audience screamed. The internet collapsed. The fandom combusted. For the first time in a decade, the truth wasn't hidden in scripts, characters, interviews, or contracts. It was out. Raw. Real. Undeniable. And nothing, absolutely nothing, would ever be the same again.